So there are lists out there of suppliers to use for your dropshipping business, but you need to know how to sort through that list or you might end up with a bad supplier. What's up everyone, Paul here from dropshippingtitans.com, where I teach regular people just like you how to start your first successful dropshipping store. And one of the biggest struggles that I see new dropshippers face is the struggle of finding a good supplier to use. Now, there are a lot of free lists out there, but if you just choose a random supplier from that list, there's a really good chance they're not going to be a good fit for dropshipping or the type of dropshipping that you want to do. So it's better to do this and start on the right foot here, put in the research and the time up front to find the good suppliers. Don't worry, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So I'll show you the easiest method first. If you're looking to dropship from other retail websites, what I'm talking about are websites like walmart.com, then I highly recommend that you use a software such as AutoDS. This is what I use. And what this will do, this will allow you to quickly list items onto eBay. And if the price or stock changes on the retailer's website, it will automatically change on eBay for you. And AutoDS does that for you. Now, the really cool thing is that they tell you what suppliers they work with. And this is a really, really good place to start. This is your first list. So they have Amazon here. That's not one that I recommend that you drop ship from because what we've seen is that eBay doesn't like it. Walmart is a really good supplier. They also have Banggood, AliExpress, Home Depot, Wayfair, Costco, Overstock, Costaway, and China brands. So with that list, how do you know which ones to use? Well, this is what I look for. I always look for suppliers that have really easy websites to work with. So Walmart is, for instance, probably the best example. Very easy, simple website to use. I also look for fast shipping, and Walmart definitely checks off that box, or at least have consistent shipping speeds so that we always know how long it's going to take for the customer to get the item. Also, we look for good customer service, and Walmart definitely has that. So coming back to this list on AutoDS, we see that they use Walmart, which is a good choice. Home Depot fits all that as well. Wayfair, Costco, Overstock, Costaway, all good choices. Now they have other ones here like Banggood, AliExpress, and China brands. If you use those, you're going to be drop shipping from China. Now this is why I said in the beginning, you have to have a supplier that fits with the type of drop shipping that you want to do. Now personally, I advocate doing US-based suppliers because faster shipping, easier to do with returns, and usually there's better customer service and higher quality. But that's not to say that dropshipping from China is wrong. You just have to make sure it fits your criteria and figure out what that is. Like I've used Banggood in the past, I've used AliExpress, and I've used China brands, and they were all fine. But personally, I like having US-based suppliers. Now, if you're deciding not to use retail websites to dropship from, then another choice for you would be to use wholesale suppliers. So the difference between retail and wholesale is that when you're doing retail, you're buying from another website. That means you're paying the retail price. With wholesale dropshipping, the benefit is that you're paying wholesale pricing. So your margins on the items you sell are going to be much higher than it would be with retail dropshipping. Now, the drawback is that wholesale is not as easy to start up. That's why I said that this is best for beginners. Just very simple and easy to start. With wholesale, you have to form connections with these wholesale companies, get them to agree to dropship products for you. Now, luckily, there is a software for this called Inventory Source. And by the way, I'll have links to both AutoDS and Inventory Source under this video. But quite honestly, Inventory Source is not a software that I personally use, even though I do wholesale dropshipping. And that's primarily because it's so expensive to use them. I just found that it's much easier to do it manually for wholesale. Because with wholesale, the prices of the items don't change as often and the stock levels don't change as often either. But it is free to sign up for an Inventory Source account. The only thing you'll get for free, though, is this list of suppliers that you could potentially use. And the list has 4,500 suppliers, so it's a huge list. But just like before, we have to sort through these and find ones that fit our criteria. So personally, I'm looking for ones that are US-based, faster on the shipping, hopefully have great customer service as well. Those are the main things I look out for. There's a lot more of criteria that I look for that I cover in my wholesale course, but for now, we'll just look kind of for that. And the other thing I also avoid are aggregators. So there's this website here called US Direct or DOBA, for instance. These are both aggregators. And what that means is that you're not working directly with a wholesale supplier. Instead, you are working with a company that brings in several other companies that are willing to dropship, and you only have to sign up for one of these accounts. Now, that sounds good because it sounds like you get access to a lot of suppliers, but in general, we have found that these don't work as well. For one thing, they charge you to use them, which I'm pretty much against doing that. And I just found it's better to work directly with the supplier. So we do avoid these aggregators. And for wholesale, we also definitely avoid Chinese-based suppliers or anyone outside the United States. But this is one I've used right here. So let me show you why I liked this one and why this one checked off all the boxes for me. So I'm going to go ahead and open them up, and I'm going to visit their website. So first, I want to make sure that they are US-based. And a really good place to look for all the information I'm going to talk about is either in the menu bar at the top or in the footer at the bottom. And here, the footer at the bottom, we see that they are based in New Jersey. So they're US based. I also want to make sure that they are not an aggregator of any kind. And the best way to do that is just kind of see, they don't charge you any money to sign up. That's what I would look for. And also want to see if they're using multiple different suppliers. You can kind of click through the website to get an idea of that. And by clicking through this one, I don't see any indication that they are. The other thing that I look for is things like, do they do drop shipping? That's a major one. And they specifically say here, they do drop shipping. It's right here. But another place I would look is down here at the bottom. Let's see what they have. FAQ, let's check on that. Is there a fee to be a reseller? No. Again, that's something I look for. Make sure there's no fee. Let's search for the word drop ship. Drop ship. Blind drop shipping is not available, but that's okay. Yeah, so they talk all about drop shipping here, so it is clear that they do it. It does say there's no drop ship fee. So that's important to know as well. If they do charge a drop shipping fee, that's okay as long as it's not too high. Ideally it's better if they don't. Also, you want to make sure that there's no minimum order requirement because there's no point in them drop shipping if they make you buy 5 or 10 at a time. But over here we see that there's no minimum order, so that checks off another box. And the other main thing I look for is to make sure that we actually are getting wholesale pricing because they do claim to be a wholesaler. But here you see that it's a dealers only website, which means that the general public can't access this website at all. So that's a sign that they can't buy any of the products unless you become a dealer. So that's all great. This checks off all the boxes. But some other places I would look are sometimes usually not terms and condition. Well, this one actually is pretty good. This one offers some information about the return policy, which you might want to know about, the shipping costs, all good information. I can also click on product offering at the top and just kind of go through these websites, just kind of get a feel for how they work. Now, if you're unable to find all the information that you're looking for to see if this is a good supplier to use, my suggestion would be to call them up or email them. Ideally, to call them up and talk with them, ask them the questions that you want answered, and they'll be able to help you out. And that also gives you a good idea of what their customer service will be like. Are they responsive? Is someone actually pick up the phone? Is it a dead line? All these kind of things would help you figure out if they're a good supplier or not. But I went through this website. They look like a great supplier. I've actually used them before, so they get the thumbs up from me. Now, obviously, this list with 4,500 products is big. But if you're still looking for more wholesale suppliers, I have another resource for you. And that's for you to look at any expo that's going on. So any sort of, they have these every single year, multiple times a year throughout the country, are conferences where they bring in different retailers selling their products. They call them expos. And so they have pet expos, for instance, and they have drone expos, and pretty much any topic you can think of, anything that people buy retail, they have an expo for it. So it's a chance for the manufacturers, suppliers to come in, showcase their items, and then for retailers to then come in and say, yeah, I want these items. And a lot of these suppliers at these expos will drop ship the products for you. Now, you don't actually have to go to the expo yourself. You can just search on Google. So in this case, I searched for Pet Expo, and this came up, and it's showing me all the exhibitors that are going to be there. Now, not all these exhibitors are going to be a good fit. So again, you got to go through. This is a long list, but you go through these. It has 4,800. So we've just doubled the number of wholesale suppliers that we have. Just go through this and make sure they fit all the criteria that you're looking for. And that's another really easy way to find a free list of suppliers to use for your dropshipping business. And this definitely takes work. It definitely takes time to go through these lists and to find good suppliers. But the good news is that, especially with wholesale, you only need one good supplier. If you find one supplier with really good margins, there's high demand for them and lower competition, that one is all you need to have a really good start to your dropshipping business. And so that's what I did. I actually went to this expo last year, found a good supplier, and that one good supplier that I found a few of them, but there's one really good one. That's what really started my wholesale business. So this is a really great way to find these free lists. And I did talk about this software, AutoDS. Now, if you want to see all the software that I use for my dropshipping business, including my wholesale business, to check out this video right here. I go in depth, show you exactly how to use all that software, and I'll see you over there in just a few seconds.